The Colorado Supreme Court ruled Tuesday that former President Donald Trump is disqualified from serving as president under what's known as the constitutional rule, Insurrection Clause, and ordered the Secretary of State to remove his name from the state Republican presidential primary. Landmark decision. The contention that Trump is barred from holding public office under a Civil War-era provision is unprecedented, according to a divided Colorado Supreme Court. December 6, 2021, attack on the U.S. Capitol. Never before has a court ruled that a presidential candidate is disqualified under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. Asked about the Colorado Supreme Court's decision on Wednesday, President Biden told reporters it was up to the court to decide whether to apply Section 3, but said there was no question that Trump supported the insurrection. The ruling does not apply outside Colorado, and the state Supreme Court, all of whose justices were appointed by Democratic governors, put the decision on hold until January 4, one day before Colorado Secretary of State Jena Griswold's deadline to certify candidates for Colorado elections. State primaries on March 5. We conclude that because President Trump is disqualified from serving as president under Section 3, it would be unlawful action under the Election Code for the Secretary of State to include President Trump as a candidate in the presidential primary, the court majority wrote, and therefore the Secretary of State may not include President Trump's name in the 2024 presidential primary election, nor may he count any write-in votes cast for him. Lawsuits challenging Trump's candidacy have been filed in more than 25 states ahead of the 2024 election, although the Colorado case, brought on behalf of 6 electors, poses the most immediate threat to his campaign. National polls show Trump among the candidates vying for the Republican presidential nomination. Trump will appeal the decision to the U.S. Supreme Court, a campaign official said, setting up a showdown over his eligibility to run just as voters in early states begin casting ballots in Republican primaries. In putting its decision on hold, the Colorado Supreme Court said that if the case is filed before the nation's highest court before January 4, the stay will remain in effect and the clerk will be required to place Trump on the 2024 primary ballot until the Supreme Court. The U.S. will not make a decision. Rules of Court. Tonight the Colorado Supreme Court issued a completely wrong decision, and we will immediately appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court and simultaneously seek a stay of this deeply undemocratic decision, said Steve Chung, a Trump campaign spokesman. We have every confidence that the U.S. Supreme Court will quickly rule in our favor and finally put an end to these un-American lawsuits. The 7-member Colorado Supreme Court split the decision 4-3, with the majority overturning the trial court's decision regarding the scope of Section 3 and concluding that it covers the office of the president and the person sworn in as president. President Trump asks us to comply with Section 3, disqualifying every oathbreaker except the most powerful, and barring oathbreakers from holding virtually all office, both state and federal, except the highest in the land, wrote the majority. Both results are inconsistent with the plain language and history of Section 3. Griswold, in an interview Wednesday on CBS News America Decides, said, "There should be no loophole for the president if the president decides to engage in insurrection or insurrection. Donald Trump incited an insurrection. He tried to stop the peaceful transition of the presidency by trying to steal the presidential election from the American people," Griswold said. There is clear language in Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. So I believe the Colorado Supreme Court got it right. But unlike Donald Trump, I will follow any court decision, law, or U.S. Constitution when it comes time to certify the election results. She rejected the argument that the decision is anti-democratic and disenfranchises voters. It's ironic because Donald Trump literally tried to steal the presidency. That's the only reason this thing got going, because of his actions, she said.